Coming to you live from the Now Media Newsroom.
I'm Jim Check. You're watching Now Media. With me, Dennis Storozhuk.
Nice.
Look at that, eh? Got that one. And Andrii
Filipolych.
There you go. Thank you guys for coming in. We've done quite a few interviews, you and I. We're going to talk about supporting Ukrainians that are here in Canada and the petition that's out there right now to help Canadians or Ukrainians build a life here in Canada.
But it will help Canadians too.
Yeah, of course, right? Well, I mean, we're all immigrants, most of us, right?
Yeah.
My mom and dad came in the Hungarian Revolution, right? So similar to you, right? You guys are at war, and you were actually serving in the military and were injured.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to just start with some of that experience? Like, what's going on in Ukraine right now? I mean, you guys are connected to what's going on right now.
Latest news kind of.
What's going on in Ukraine right now? From what you obviously still have friends that are probably fighting still.
Yeah, definitely. So now the things are going not really well. Actually, it's going probably worse than usual. It never was good during this war, but now it seems like the things are getting worse. It's like now the problems which we had before and which we didn't solve until now, they are becoming more complicated, and they create another problems. And that's what we can see actually on the front lines when Russians are advancing in those places where they weren't before. And we feel a lack of people on the front lines. That's probably one of the biggest issues now we have.
Just manpower.
Yeah. The Russians, so they use new tactics now. They don't use armored vehicles anymore. They don't most actually they do, but not as much as they did before. Now they try to just like infiltrate in our defense lines, just like by 2-3 people groups, very, very small groups. Sometimes it's even just one man, and they are not. Their goal is not to come and to stand on position, but their goal is to go as far as they can go, and they are like an ants. They are seeking the weak points, and they making the pathways there. And once they got the pathway, they are pushing more people in that weak point, and that's how they actually succeeding right now. That's a very big problem, and of course our soldiers, our army, fighting really, really good. We give them like really hard time. They are having like around 1,000 people losses every day. That's like almost 30,000 people every month they lost. But it's not enough to stop them. They are still.
That is pushing. On their side, you say the losses, or
their side. Yeah.
I think Ukrainian losses are much less.
Much less.
Yeah.
It's approximately like
one. They're the offensive, right? So
1 to 4, 1 to 5.
And that's kind of like ties into what Trump is saying, right? 7,000 a week, right? He's saying, which is basically 1,000 a day, right? What you just said. Right?
Yeah, that's true. So the situation is really hard, and they are pushing really bad, and so I think it's time to not to forget about Ukraine and give as much support as possible from all around the world. And that's actually the main reason why I'm here, just to remind to Canadians and why everybody should support Ukraine, and why it's so important to actually we stand against that enemy. Why it's important for all of us.
And you were injured, and that's why you're retired from the.
Yes. I was a volunteer as soon as 28th of February 2022. I was back to Ukraine, and I went to join military right away, and that was a volunteer unit first, and so the first year and maybe 2 years of the war, it was totally different war what we have now. It was like, I would say, pre-FPV drone era, because once FPV drones arrived on battlefield, it changed everything.
Yeah.
So now the war is totally different. Yeah, so I was lucky to be at that time because it was much more safe, even though it was dangerous.
Yeah, we had that young man, and I can't remember the young man's name, Dennis.
Maxim.
Maxim was in, and he was showing pictures of like the drone incursions were like 100, and then it was 500, and just like like
Right.
Yeah.
storms now. Right?
Actually, his friend, same age, 18-year-old, he volunteered to go to Ukraine from Kelowna, and he is also serving in the same drone troops
Yeah.
right now.
And I was a drone pilot as well, but it was just reconnaissance,
Reconnaissance, yeah.
reconnaissance, drone, and we also used it as a bomber. And so we put some small grenades and we dropped it, but it was just like a game. Now it's totally different.
Yeah, and then you're here now, and you just celebrated having a young baby here.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I came to Canada with my wife, because we weren't sure about the future of Ukraine at that time, and we decided to come to Canada to first bring baby to a more safe place than Ukraine is now, and second is to get the passport for our son, so he can actually decide when he grows up where he wants to live, what he wants to do.
Because he will be dual citizen automatically.
Yeah, 'cause
he will
he's
be
born
doing.
here
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Canada,
But
right?
Canadian passport is much more stronger than Ukrainian, and so it's just for his future to have more options.
So you decided to move after your wife got pregnant, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And then you guys have a petition that's going on right now that it's Canada-wide, I take it. And then we have a QR code that we can put up on the screen and let Ukrainians build their lives here in Canada.
Well, I wanted to talk about this petition.
Yeah.
I have a speech.
Yeah, let's go. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I would start it like that. I consider myself Canadian. I'm more Canadian than Ukrainian because I live in Kelowna actually for 25 years, most of my life. And I think that we as Canadians are fortunate that we had 300,000 people, one of the most hardworking people in the world, people from nations that helped to build the Canada 100 years ago, the country it is. And we are fortunate that these people came to Canada. Of course, the reason why they came is unfortunate, and we will talk about, and Andrii already talked about the war, but this is the fact. These people already in Canada for last 3 years, they settled, they worked, they pay taxes. Their employers could not let them go. Anyone I meet who ever hired Ukrainians said the best employees ever due to strong work ethic and so on. And I think as a country we could not afford to lose them, because if you check simple statistic, the Canada is pretty much dying country without immigrants. Our average birth rate per family is 1.4. So for every man and woman, we get only 1.4 of new men born in Canada. So without immigrants, our population will decline. And like in about 20, 30 years, it will be half of the current population and so on. You will have ghost cities pretty much. So the only...
Especially the young people. I mean, a lot of boomers have got this boomer kind of population
that's
just
even worse.
moving out, right? I mean, that's where that bubble is too, right?
Exactly. So just for statistic, in 1971, we had in Canada we had 7 working people for 1 retiree. Now we have 3 working people, and very soon we will have 2. Due to baby
big
boomers.
families are no longer the big thing, because I grew up with 7 brothers and sisters, right? So that's unusual
It's a
today.
problem not only for Canada, for any developed country. People get too good their life and want to live their life not having kids. So anyway,
It's expensive too.
yeah. So of course we don't want to have our country dying and our retirees to not to have any way to get any pension. So we need to get about 400,000 immigrants per year. That's simple math, and our government knows about that, and that's their goal. We have Ministry of Immigration with a budget of $5 billion per year. And the main goal of this ministry is to get 400,000 immigrants to Canada. So pretty much it's $12,000 per person. That's what we spend from our budget, from your money, from my money, to attract immigrants to Canada. On the other hand, we already have 300,000 very high quality immigrants. We don't need to spend any money to help them settle, to give any social assistance, anything. And this is an unresolvable situation. So we did 5 petitions to the government through Tracy Gray, our former MP, but they had like 100 signatures each and did not do any
Impact.
anything. The problem is that currently all Ukrainians in Canada, it was, I think, very good program, co-ed program that was emergency authorization for travel. Just as the war started, federal government accepted this program in March 2022, and during this program, 300,000 Ukrainians were accepted, granted work permit, healthcare, all of that. So it's all good. But all of them are on temporary status. So every 3 years, they have to extend their work permit only on the condition that they have valid Ukrainian passport, which is a problem by itself. The country in a war, Ukrainian consulates and embassy are overwhelmed. The waiting line just to get in the line to receive new passport is three years by itself. We talked about that before, but it's not the main problem. The main problem, people could not plan their life. So they don't know that every Ukrainian I talk to, and Andrii is in the same shoes, they every day when they wake up, they think about one thing. Okay, where I am, what will happen with me like in few years. They all think, for whatever reason, their work permit won't be extended. I think it will, realistically, but there is no guarantee for that. So they could not build their life in Canada, they could not make any plans, they could not build anything. Because they think that at any moment, our government may decide to send them back or just send them out of the country. And at the same time, we're spending this huge money to bring people, immigrants, and if you check statistics, that most of these immigrants, the idea how they are selected is wise. So there is certain educational level, English or French, language capacity, certain maybe specialities and so on. In reality, majority of those immigrants that are selected with this wise criteria are never working on their profession. Doctors, lawyers, anyone. They just could not get certified in Canada, and even if they could, for whatever reason, they could not find the place to work, so they end up working as Uber drivers or in McDonald's or whatever. Yeah. So I don't understand why we spend $5 billion a year, every year, to bring these people when we already have these people. So the decision is very simple, and we discussed it on one of the previous programs, but we did not have petition at the time, is with a stroke of the pen, as you said, Jim.
Doesn't make any, just it's simple.
Yeah,
simple,
we
right?
save $5 billion, we get 300,000 people happy that are so much stressed from everyday war going on. Only yesterday, my hometown Kyiv was attacked again by Russian crazy person.
It's actually right now under attack. The next night, next attack. Yeah. Yesterday they killed like 5 people. Today
6. Yeah, 440 drones, 18 missiles. Just normal. It's like normal in Ukraine right now, right? So every Ukrainian in Canada, they wake up, first think, okay, what I'm doing, where am I, like what is my future? I don't know anything. Then they check the news. More people dead in Ukraine. You go to sleep. You may not wake up. Double stress for them. Why? Why we created? They could not plan their career. They could not get education, certification, and so on, because they think it might be useless if they need to leave the country in a couple years. Completely ridiculous idea. So I had this idea last winter. I did not come to fruition. So other people started it. I think it went through the MP from Calgary. This is the petition. You just showed it. It's electronic petition. So anyone can sign it. I did sign it. It took me like 30 seconds.
Yeah. So
realistically.
you can put that up on the screen now.
So you just scan it. It goes to Parliament website. Our comments, petition number 6866. You enter your name, your email. You got email just to confirm that it's your email. You click the link. That's it. Done. Right now there are 43,000 signatures. It's nothing. It's and by the way, it's interesting. There was a poll done by Ukrainian National Congress on the streets, where just Canadians on the street were asking, okay, do you think Ukrainians should get status in Canada or not? 69% answered yes. So it's a simple question of information and laziness. So if you see this petition, if 1 million people know about it in Canada, we will get 690,000 signatures right away. I don't think government can ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't Ukrainians be front of line? I mean, there's active war going on there, like an actual war. I mean, one of the biggest wars since World War II.
Yeah, but
right?
it's not humanitarian thing. It's not only humanitarian thing.
Yeah.
We come with as humanitarian approach. No, I want to come from different approach. We, Canadians, need these people in Canada, and we need to do anything we can to not to help them, to help our country, to keep them. That's my approach to that. And just for the numbers, last year, only 1.4% of immigrants who received official status in Canada as an immigrant were Ukrainians. 1.4%. 6,000 people.
Is there a reason though? Have they given you a reason other than, you know?
No, the thing is that how it works, of course, the government had to answer on all our even paper petitions, and it was very simple. They were saying, oh, we have this immigration program, this immigration program. Ukrainians don't have any special program. They can apply on a regular program. And it's almost impossible. Like right now, for example, latest news for humanitarian program, the Ukrainians that have applied, the waiting time to have their case considered is 48 years.
What? Did you
No,
say
it's
48?
48 years, not
48,
months.
like 4-8?
Yeah, it's on official site of Immigration Canada. The line up with the current processing time calculated automatically 48 years.
Yeah, and
Not 4 to 8, but 48, like
50, close to 50. Yeah.
yeah, that's after recent changes they made, and actually, so for us Ukrainians, it's not that we are incapable to apply for PR and not like that we can't find the way. No, we can. For example, me, I'm a construction worker, I'm a roofer, and I could apply for PR after 2 years of work experience. So I've got almost that period now, but I cannot apply now because of the recent changes. Recent, I mean like half a year ago, they just cut the
goals and the everything, thresholds, change the rules.
So now
the
numbers, yeah. So I had really good scores because of my English education, skills and stuff. I would have no problem to apply and get PR a year ago. Today, it's impossible. Yeah, and next year it will be even less options, and next year to 2027 less.
Yeah, that's a program of the government. Yeah. But you see, what's interesting? Some people were asking, telling me, well, we don't need any more immigrants or Ukrainians because it's a problem to find the job and so on. This is completely wrong, because as I said, we need to bring people to Canada, otherwise the country will die. We're not out of the jobs. We just don't have enough jobs that people born in Canada want to work on. So we have to bring immigrants. It's just a question of mass. It's not even politics or anything like that, right? The question is why you would bring more people if we already have people who are here and who are completely unquestionable, have all the qualities, culture, everything, right? Like 100 years ago, 3 provinces of Canada, the second most spoken language was Ukrainian. You know those provinces?
Well, Alberta, like in Vegreville, I lived in Edmonton. I mean, there's a giant egg there.
Yeah. So no questions about the
Big Ukrainian community here in Kelowna as well.
Yeah. So I just ask not on for you to vote. It's simple. It will take you 30 seconds. Take few more minutes and tell your friends. You will make a gift to your children and grandchildren by doing that. It's not that much. It's only 300,000 people, but they can make a difference.
I think it's less because it's like I think 300,000 people who enter Canada, but lots of people they actually left Canada after some time.
And it's just unfair, for people that live amongst you, work for you, pay the taxes that you often receive some of to have them in this position when that's their main worry. And by the way, some people, most of people, they shell $5,000 to $10,000 to immigration lawyers in a hope that they can somehow increase their chances or find the program from them. So all this petition asks, if you open it, is to create a special pathway for Ukrainians. And there were multiple precedents for that. For example, for citizens of Hong Kong. Just a few years ago, there was a special program, and I think about 50,000 people came. So special program only if you're resident of Hong Kong and match certain conditions, then you're accepted in the program. And this petition calls not even give to everyone, only to people who match certain conditions, working for so many years, paying taxes, have their kids in school, so criteria of settlement. Of course, we don't potentially we don't want people who will go to social assistance and so on, right? We're only talking about people who we need here, who we need to stay,
that contribute to the
who
economy,
we need to beg, please stay in Canada. Don't leave us. We need you.
And actually, I think lots of Ukrainians, not just from Canada, but from all over the world, they will definitely go back to Ukraine when or if the war will be stopped.
That's why we need to give them status now. Otherwise, we can lose them pretty quick. Right?
I think the main reason why actually government is not is like hesitating about that discussions is because probably regarding to Ukrainian-Canadian relationship, it's like it's important for Ukraine to take its to bring its people
home.
Back, and if any country in the
world,
world,
there's pressure from
yes,
Zelensky
definitely.
to not allow Canadians.
That's what Carney said. Yeah.
Yes, he told me when we met in Kelowna.
So there's pressure from Zelensky.
It's not from Zelensky. It's from Ukraine as a state, as a country.
He's the head of that right now. Right?
Exactly,
yeah, but realistically, we should think about our country benefit first, and what politicians talk between themselves second.
Right.
It's
we should understand. That could be one of the factors, but we need to think about our economy. First.
I think that as for me, I'm not eager to get PR just because I want to stay in Canada and I want to live here all my life. Because I am the one want to go back to Ukraine whenever it will be possible. But there is a big moment here. We don't know when we can and if we can at all. Because the situation is like really, it's unpredictable. Yeah. We could win, we could lose. And if second option happen, then we're going to have much more Ukrainian coming to all.
Well, there could be third option, that this war can drag for a very long time.
Yeah, it can be for another 3, 5, 7 years.
Yeah, how
easily.
It looks right now in last couple of years.
Afghanistan was 20 years.
Yeah, and for people like
Iraq.
Yeah, and for people like me, for example, I am from the western part of Ukraine, and on those parts of Ukraine, we are like mostly not damaged, not destroyed, just like local places where we had some missile attacks. But lots of people here in Canada, they came from the eastern and southern parts of Ukraine, which are or occupied or just destroyed.
Bombed out. Yeah.
Bombed out. They have their homes. They don't have a place to come back. So that for those people, it's much more important to get that.
I understand that there's power rationing now, even in Kiev and that, where the power is on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They
not-
hit
oh,
electric stations,
that's very big issue now, and this winter will be very hard for Ukrainians. It's not even winter now, but the Russians did so big damage to our energy system, and they are continuing this every day. So now we have the blackouts like twice a day, at least twice a day, in most regions of Ukraine. But with every next strike, successful strike from Russians, the situation will be worsening, and it may cause another
It's
humanitarian
almost
crisis.
like a psychological war on the people as well.
Yeah,
right?
and also humanitarian. They could create such a condition that people would not be able to stay in their homes, and it may happen actually, and that one of the plans of Russians. So they demoralize all Ukrainians. They push people down to maybe go out and say enough of the war, give up. And the other one, if they create this humanitarian crisis, the Europe will face like millions and millions of immigrants again. So that will be very bad situation for Europe and for all the world actually. And so Russia following these two
It's
two
terror
goals.
tactic. Terror
Yeah, just a
tactic.
terrorist tactic. Yeah, nothing new. They are not the one to find it out. They just use it.
Can we put that petition back up there? So, I mean, it'd take you a couple minutes. If you could just go on there, let Ukrainians build their lives in Canada, sign that petition, and then share that with, once you've done it, just share that link with friends and family and ask them to do it. And then,
Yeah, and just to confirm, it's not about accepting more
No, it's just the ones that are
refugees.
here, right?
Only those who are
Already
already here for
here,
3 years and already settled have appropriate
I mean, like
language.
like Maxim that was
Like
here, and
Maxim,
stuff like that,
yeah.
right?
Hard
You know,
work.
already kind of contributing to the economy.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you go there, you to this link, you actually will see all the description, and you will see the requirements. It's not just okay, you are Ukrainian, get the PR. No, you have to
the
be
requirements,
eligible, of course. You have to work, you have to speak, you have to be self-sustainable, and you have to do a good impact on Canada. Your kids should be in school or kindergarten. Yeah.
So there were precedents like that. There is nothing new. Presidents for citizens of other countries. I think Ukrainians would be perfect next candidate. That's it. And by the way, what Andrii have mentioned about the blackouts and so on, there were very big. Many people were worried about that in the first winter of war. We have sent totally 17 generators to Ukraine. Kilona stands with Ukraine. From your donations, we have sent to different places, mostly schools and hospitals. The generators, and they're still working, and people still send their thanks.
Yeah.
And then you've got the truck that you're still working
Yeah.
on sending, right?
Yeah, so that's a second. It will be much shorter, but still very important. So we have a program. So pickup trucks, very much requested on the front line. Maybe Andrew could say a few words about that. Why? Because some people don't understand why.
Because that's the only option you have to be mobile as a unit. Like so, some specific units they have armored vehicles, but as now we have this FPV drones, clouds flying around. So it's like so if you use these expensive armors, they are target number one. And most likely they will not do anything after that. So most of soldiers, they are actually moving around on just pickup trucks, as I did as well. And that pickup trucks, they also just like, I don't know, a one-time use probably.
Yeah, but they don't need new machines. They need very well used
So
ones,
if
right?
you don't have a truck, you are just like in a wheelchair. You can't move around. You're incapable to do your tasks and duties. So for every unit, having at least one truck for like 5-7 people, it's just a very crucial thing. And so these trucks are burning damaging, like breaking,
Hit by
hitting, yeah, very often. Sometimes we have like the guys were fundraising for the truck. Like 2 months, they got the money, they bought the truck, they delivered it to Frontline. Next day, it's gone, and then you stay for next 2 months asking people, give some money, please, we need a truck.
We were more fortunate with this situation because last truck we sent before that, our K1 Oga Dragon, Oga Poga, same truck that we sent from Kelowna last year, it's still fighting for over a year, so we were more lucky with this. And North American trucks are the best. You may not know that, but trucks that are available in Europe are the miniature version.
Right? There's no such thing as like there's no such better than an F-150.
Yeah, the roads
or
in Europe.
F-350 for that.
The roads in Europe are too good, but it's not like that on the battlefield. And that's highly requested. And only basically groups from Canada and States are able to provide them that easy as we can. So first truck was there, a second truck that we purchased in Kelowna, and by the way, people who sell those trucks, they give very big discount because they know where it's going. But anyway, so we purchased it, we brought it all the way to Europe, and then we ran out of funds, zero. So we had to use a credit card to pay the delivery from port in Europe, in Lithuania to Ukraine. So right now, this truck in Pavlograd. We had before sending it, we had interviews on Castanet, CBC, Global, everywhere about this project. You might have missed it, but when you get to this link, you will see that. And right now, it's 60 miles to the front line and in repairs. It did not made it all the way because it was used truck, so it needs new drive shaft. The cost of replacement is about $1,000 Canadian for the drive shaft. So that's our first priority. As soon as we get $1,000, we will repair it right away, and it will be on the front line next day. It's only 60 miles, and the unit is impatiently waiting for that. But also our fundraising goal for this through GoFundMe is $4,000. So it's to pay for drive shaft and pay our credit card bill before we get into into problems with a credit card company for that. So it's a piece of Kelowna that will be very direct help to Ukraine, not through some fund, not through Red Cross. Or whatever. So as soon as it's delivered, of course, we will have all the pictures, videos, happy soldiers, thanking Kelowna citizens for your help. So yeah, if you just go to this GoFundMe campaign and donate what you can. We just started it last night. So before this interview, there was $0 donated. Hopefully, it will be much more now.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the buffet.
Anyway, if we not get enough money to cover it, we're gonna cover it from our pockets. It's like we will not leave it like that for sure. It's just if you could help us to make it come, we would be very grateful.
Yeah, it has Kelowna all around it, Canadian flags, everything. When you get to the link, you will see it. So thank you for advance for your help. And by the way, you can follow everything we're doing on with help of Kelowna citizens, and the Okanagan, of course, is on our Facebook group, Kelowna Stands with Ukraine. Just very easy to remember. You stand with Ukraine, I stand with Ukraine, Kelowna stands with Ukraine. So you just type it in the Facebook, you'll get to the page, and you will see this fundraising information and report there as well. I just also wanted to mention one more use, very popular use of pickup trucks is that these drones that we mentioned, like 440 drones attacking single city in one day. Many drone hunters use this pickup truck, just install machine gun on it. Drones are not very fast, so they can get the soldiers can get very fast to the trajectory of this drone and just shoot it with machine gun. Saves lives, saves civilians all the time.
Yeah, now they started to use actually anti-drones. Drones against drones.
On that,
yeah, that's much more efficient actually than any machine gun on a pickup truck. But they still use pickup trucks to get to the field and to set their anti-drones.
And you should also, one misconception I get from some people again is that some people don't want to participate in something that is intended to kill people. That's not. So first of all, when the pickup truck brings something to the very front line, it takes wounded people back to safety. And minutes matter often. Second, what troops are doing, what these drone hunters are doing, they are actually saving civilians. If they give up, if the Russians get in, they will kill much more people. That's what they did in Bucha, in Mariupol, and so on. So don't think that if Ukraine give up or Russia will peacefully occupy some region, then it will be better situation. No. Then in this case, civilians will die in much bigger numbers than soldiers dying right now. So by helping armed forces, you save civilians.
Yeah, and that's much bigger actually topic, and we could speak a little bit about that. I think that could be a good motivation for Canadians to support Ukraine, not because of mercy, but because your own safety. Because if Ukraine falls, that's the worst scenario for all over the world, for every developed country in the world who want to live in peace. If Ukraine falls, you guys in very big problems, because just think of what Russia will do next, how Russia will use all Ukrainian resources, all Ukrainian human resources, our military stuff which they're gonna capture. They're gonna double their army just like in a couple of months. They're gonna mobilize Ukrainians as they do actually on occupied territories. They have everything working already. They're just gonna enhance it. So for all people around the world who want to live in safe place, you need to support Ukraine.
Yeah, but
Ukraine
Canada,
is your shield. Actually.
Canada has a huge border with Russia.
Exactly.
Right through the Arctic.
Yeah.
And this border is contested. Russia did not recognize Canadians' claim. So never when. If Ukraine falls, Canada could be easily next, attacked through the north.
Yeah, and we don't have to forget about China as well, and many other autocratic countries who are watching.
I guess just to push on that a little bit is Canada is a NATO country, which would obviously start something that I don't think Russia.
Yeah, there are many Canadian soldiers in Europe actually stationed in Baltic countries. Yeah. That is the next target, official target for Putin.
And actually, Russians are preparing for that even now. They are not waiting until they finish the war in Ukraine. They are getting ready for the next war, for a much bigger war right now. Yeah. Actually, as NATO does the same. But here is, I think, I've heard that from different sources who were just trying to predict different scenarios, what could happen. And the most dangerous scenario for all the NATO countries who think they are safe because they are in NATO and they are friends with the United States and they are protected, it may be false thing, because imagine if Russia and China hit together at the same time.
I mean, that was the big worry about this war to begin with, is that allowing this to happen would push Russia and China together, right? Which is the biggest worry of all, because China obviously is not only a rising economic power, it's also a rising military power.
Yeah,
but it also changes the rules of the game that were established 80 years ago after World War II.
They already changed.
It was very clear, if one country attacks the other, it will be punished by by the developed world,
UN,
right?
yeah.
And it was happening for 80 years. Like, remember, Iraq invaded Kuwait.
Yep.
Instant response.
No.
Stuff like that. Now, Russia invaded Ukraine. Yeah, sanctions here, sanctions there. No punishment, really.
The answer
You know?
is very slow because of nuclear threat as well.
Yeah, of course. But if Ukraine falls to Russia and it officially will occupy it, think about the lesson to all the dictatorships, all the bad guys in the world.
Yeah.
The lesson is very simple. You can do whatever you want and you can get away with it.
If you are stronger, go and take a weaker.
It's like if RCMP will suddenly go on strike for a few months. What will happen? You know? People will think they can do anything on the streets, criminals and so on. Not good idea.
No.
So think about it. It's not distant war somewhere in Africa or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, you and I have talked quite a few times, and it sounded like, like the Alaska meeting was close, where they were coming up. I listened to Marco Rubio the other day, and it sounds like they were close again, and then now they're negotiating over territory, Donetsk. You can probably tell people what
Yeah.
Donetsk is. Like they wanted all of Donetsk, but they only occupy a part of Donetsk.
Region, not
Yeah.
the city. City they
Yeah.
occupied
Donetsk region, yeah. So
years ago.
what we call Donbas, what everybody knows, right? Donbas is basically two big regions, Luhanska and Donetska regions. So they almost occupied all of Luhanska Oblast now, but they still have I think maybe 25% not occupied of Donetska Oblast region. And so we have three really big cities, agglomeration, which is the core of our defense of Donbas, and they want it just to let go to them without the fight.
Yeah, they want our
That's
to withdraw.
That's so ridiculous.
And these are big fortresses.
Yeah, that's a fortresses which are standing
Right.
for 14 years already, because the war had been started actually not in 2022,
that's been going on for a while.
in 2014. So, and one of the cities, not one, even some of the cities, they were occupied already in 2015, to 15, but then they've been returned, and until now they are just a fortress. So it's it's impossible to go on that deal. It's not a deal.
Yeah, because after so there is also the geographic features and so on, rivers, hills, and so on that are in this place. So if they are just simply giving up to Russia, their next step will be just rolling through the steppe on their tanks, basically. Nothing will stop them from taking all the major cities.
Well, I don't think you and I, or you and me and Andrii, aren't going to solve this, but I mean, there's hopefully somebody solves this at some point. You have one more thing to talk about.
And
here
now
too, right?
this is the best thing.
Who doesn't love Ukrainian food, right?
This is good thing, actually.
End on a good note, right?
Yeah, you see, authentic Ukrainian food, all you can eat buffet. And it says number 3 because we had 2 before, and they were huge success, completely sold out few days in advance. So don't waste your time. It will happen on December 19th.
Ukrainian pierogies.
Borscht.
Sausage,
We'll start from borscht, as usual. With
Beet
Ukrainian
borscht.
bread.
Beet borscht.
Yeah, of course. So pierogies, cabbage rolls, traditional Ukrainian drinks, desserts, everything. So the idea is very simple. December 19, First Baptist Church on Bernard. So Ukrainian volunteers will come. The church gives us for free, by the way. A big thanks to the church. That's where we had last buffet as well. They give us their kitchen. Ukrainian volunteers will come, will cook from scratch. The best chefs, the best recipes, both traditionals and modern Ukrainian. We'll cook from scratch, and then you come at 5:30. We'll start at 6, and you just eat as much as you can. And of course, we have entertainment program. We will have Ukrainian crafts, souvenirs, vyshivankas, like that, embroidery shorts. Very good. And you will have your taste buds satisfied. There'll be silent auctions and so on. But the main thing, we're just not doing it for fun. All the money that will be raised will go to help Ukraine. Either it depends on how much we raise, of course, in the form of generators for schools and the hospitals, more trucks, anything, right? It will be in good hands. So right now, early bird ticket is only $39 for all you can eat. And it's until the end of the month, December 1st, it will go up. So don't waste time. And it's limited number. It could very well sell by December 1st as well, because it's only 120 people capacity. So do the good thing, try real food, meet Ukrainian refugees or soldiers like Andrii, talk to them, extend your help, support them, even with your words or with the fact that you're there.
And if you haven't tried Ukrainian food, it's some of the best food there is. And
everybody knows
and if you have tried it, you're obviously already buying a ticket. Right?
Yeah,
Because,
December 19th, Friday, right before Christmas, Giving Mood.
there you go. You got some candy there too.
Oh, that's just for you. Actually, I was thinking to use it as a prop for a QR code, but you have technology now where it does not need to stand. Right? Yeah, made in Ukraine, of course. You see all the traditional Ukrainian stuff. You will see plenty of ornament like that on this food, on the buffet. Also, yeah, it's for you, of course,
Thank you very
for your
much.
support. Also, one more thing I wanted to mention is that our organization, it was formed in February 2022, the day of the aggression started. We met by City Hall and created organization. We have AGM meeting in 2 weeks, and we're looking for new board members and new volunteers. So if you feel the passion, and we are asking like few hours a week pretty much at this point of your involvement, if you feel the passion, if you have experience working on the boards and non-profit organizations and so on, right now is the time to join, because it's still historical moment. Like you will tell to your grandchildren probably that you were participating in these efforts, and maybe one fundraiser that you did helped to supply the pickup truck that was used to kill the last Russian invader in Ukraine. Who knows?
Andrii, how are you doing? Like, how are you? You just had a young baby, right?
Yeah.
You and your wife. How are you doing though? Like, how are things?
It's good.
Yeah.
Like of course the most thing I enjoy is just being together with my family, because most probably if I go back to Ukraine I would be back to serve the military. So that's one of the reasons.
As a volunteer.
As a volunteer.
You won't be drafted, right?
Actually, I would be probably. It depends. I don't know. But I don't want to take that risk for now, because so I already served. I paid my duty, and now I just enjoy being a father. And
are you guys doing okay financially? You guys are working.
Yeah, I'm working. My wife, she can't work now because first year, she was home with the child, and the second, it's good you asked, because you remember before we've been talking about the difficulties for professional Ukrainians to get the job. My wife, she's a doctor, and for her to go,
and we have shortage of doctors, by the way, in Canada.
For her to go to work as a doctor in Canada, it's almost impossible. It takes a years, lots of money, lots of efforts, and if you don't have a PR, you most probably not going even to start the
still
process.
Millions of Canadians don't have access to a family doctor.
Yeah.
That is something they've been talking about solving forever, yet we just can't seem to crack that
It's
nut
ridiculous.
either.
It's ridiculous problem. I talked to
Yeah.
MLA at the time and so on.
Yes.
It's just bureaucratic hurdles created by College of Doctors to prevent new doctors competition. That's it. It's only competition. So we have qualified people, and they could not work.
So
as
is she
doctors.
working in any kind of healthcare field at all?
No, she doesn't. But so that's actually the next step for us, because we are planning that our kid gonna go to daycare in springtime, so she will be free to start something, but we don't know what and where to start, because for one thing, to start to do all the evaluations and stuff to become a doctor, it's gonna take like years and years and lots of money and stuff. So, and we don't know if it's gonna work at all. And the other one is like where to go, where to work, where to start. It's a big question now, because it's hard. It's hard for a doctor who she studied like 8 years in Ukraine, and she worked as a doctor for years, and now for her to go to work in lower positions, like just the healthcare stuff, and it's also very necessary job and stuff, but after being putting so much effort to become a doctor, going on lower positions, it's not really what I want for her to go. So we are still in doubts, and we don't know what we're gonna do. I'm working on construction. I'm doing well there. I work some extra hours, so we are just like staying afloat, and we are just It's not easy. Everybody knows it. The life in Canada now is quite hard, and I think it's not just in Canada. It's all around the world. The life becoming more harder.
Inflation,
everything is growing up except of the salaries. Yeah, so it's a bit of struggle, of course, but I'm satisfied with that because I'm happy father, and that's what makes me happy, and that's what I feel enough for myself.
And what's the little one's name?
Ian Matthew.
Ian Matthew, there you go.
Yeah, he's a year and 4 months now.
Yeah, so one of the problems, by the way, I did not mention, for Ukrainians who live here, as soon as their kids finish high school, they could not really go to university because they have to pay about $50,000 a year just tuition.
50% more than you could pay
not
if
50,
you had.
Not 50.
Yeah, if you
like
have
7
a PR.
times more.
University is cheap for Canadians.
Yeah, so my kids in university, they pay like 7,000 tuition. Ukrainians who are here legally, their parents working, paying taxes, they need to pay $50,000.
But wouldn't he be the young one? Wouldn't
well,
he
he's as an exception, but we're talking about all these kids that are here. Correct. So, and Ukrainians, they like education. They like to do career, to work as doctors, as whoever. But we're missing opportunity to get them in.
Well, as always, I do thank you for coming in, and it's great to get the updates, and then. And one of these times we need to get somebody to kind of call in from Kiev or wherever.
Good idea.
Where we can actually talk to somebody that's actually even one of your friends or something like that, so we can hear what's going on in one of the cities. I guess Kiev, or obviously we don't want the front lines. We probably don't have good internet connection or anything, right? But
we could try definitely. Yeah.
What's the time difference there? 11
hours.
10 hours. Yeah.
There you go.
No, we can find it.
Yeah, it's a bit complicated to communicate with family. Because
compared to Europe.
It's like
the difference, right?
Whenever I go sleep, they wake up, and
that's
opposite.
Right. Yeah, it's on the other side of it. And then I think Elon Musk has given Starlink there still. Is that how people are getting most of their internet right now?
Yeah,
on the front lines, yes. But the other problem now that the Russians are having this Starlink as well now.
Illegal.
So it was illegal. Yeah. It was one of our biggest advantages on the beginning of the war. That was like what actually probably saved us in a big scale. But now it's more like leveled with Russians because they already use it as well. They buy it through third countries. And they can still use it. Yeah,
China support Russia unofficially a lot.
Yeah, that's actually, everybody expect that Russian economy is like in really bad condition now, and everybody expect that it goes down and it gonna reach some critical moment when they will not be able to lead the war anymore. But we always forget about the partners who could give support.
We have to realize that the Europeans are still buying gas.
Oil
from
and
them.
gas, yeah.
Still
They-
buying oil and
actually,
gas from them,
you
right?
know,
so it doesn't make any sense,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Does it make
so-
sense, right? They're actually funding
ridiculous.
the war
Yeah.
they're trying to stop.
That's
right?
so ridiculous, actually. Yeah, that's what
Doesn't make any
European
sense at all.
politicians they did. The previous generation of politicians they did this big problem when they got dependent on Russian.
Yeah, they got rid of
Russian
their own
resources.
energy. They got
Yeah.
rid of their nuclear. They got rid of their coal. They got
Yeah.
rid of everything.
Yes,
So-
And they were
Germany,
warned. They were warned by Trump.
Yeah, they
right?
were warned by all like a lot of people, but they still were doing that. And that was just a financial interest. And now they are actually getting rid of that dependence, but it takes lots of time. And it's funny, you know, it's when
Hard to replace.
Yeah, when the opponents of support of support to Ukraine, they are telling that so much money goes to Ukraine, like billions and billions. Ukraine just like consuming this money like crazy. And then, okay, how much money did we get in all support for 3 years? I Googled it. I collected the information. We received something like 350, 400 billions for like almost 4 years of the war from all over the world, from every country. And this this number consists of the military support as well.
That's what I'm
So it's
saying.
not
most of it's weapons.
exactly
Most of it's weapons.
most
right?
yeah
Almost all of it's weapons.
exactly
right?
like 250
cash,
billion.
right?
Yes, that's the weapon. The other
The
part
winners
is like
are Lockheed Martin, Raytheon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
So-
and that's been. I mean, most people, if they dig into it, they realize,
yeah.
the money that flows, like say from another country, even Canadian money, goes to the U.S. military suppliers, and then the military.
So the money practically stays in U.S.
And not only US, but
Yeah.
the last program that they're doing right now,
That's very
Europe,
nice, yeah.
Europe sends their outdated
Old stuff.
to
Yeah.
Ukraine and buys a new one
Right.
from
Yeah.
Ukraine. But all this cost of this old stuff, old garbage, is
They're
included in
sending
the
it full price.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They sell the. This is the
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
This
For
is what
40
people
year-
should realize.
yeah.
So the money goes. The NATO country buys new equipment from the Americans, Lockheed, Raytheon, and all that, and then they sell the
Yeah.
market value of not market value, but the full cost of the old equipment, which they're going to retire anyway.
Exactly.
And
It's good you know
they've
that.
replaced their aged military equipment, dumped their garbage, and kept the cash money.
Like 99% of people around the world, they have no idea that it's like that. Everybody think that it's just...
So in a lot of ways, and I've said this many times, is Ukraine has been this unwilling sandbox for making a lot of other countries kind of like profit from this war,
Yeah.
including the Russians have made well, because the price of, remember before the war started, oil and gas was really cheap. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden the war starts, oil and gas goes up, Russia makes more money,
Yeah.
everybody's making more money, their equipment gets renewed, and the Ukrainians get old equipment.
Yeah. What I wanted to say that like all financial support, actual money, what we got, not the military support and stuff, what we talked before, is like around 120 billion in all time, and that's just like a half of the money what European Union paid to Russia for the gas and oil during that time.
And
So it's
after all
ridiculous.
these statements in last 3 minutes, you can think that there is no way out. There is a way out. And it's very simple. If the real help from free countries will triple, for example,
Yeah.
then Ukraine will just simply win this war
Exactly.
by itself. That's it. End of story.
It would happen already if we get better support from the first stages of the war. We would have now much better
Well, I mean, if
situation
you
on the
got
front lines.
I mean, I know that they've asked for the missile systems. They've asked for the
yeah.
Tomahawks.
First,
they've
we
asked,
were
Yeah,
like,
we were begging. Give us some tanks.
yeah,
Give us
but
some fighters.
it were just starting from just the dozen of artillery things, like
Yeah.
we waited a couple of months for that, and then we waited
Isn't
like
it odd
another.
that Israel, a small country, has a military machine that can match most large countries?
Yeah.
Isn't that odd?
Yeah, because they're ready.
Yeah.
They're smart.
Anyway, it's great when you guys come in, and if we could get somebody from Kiev or something
We
to
will
call in
for
next
next
time, that'd
time.
be
Yeah.
great. And
December.
Again, you can go back and rewind the video or the YouTube, and you can find these QR codes. This one here is a great way to come out and meet the people, actually. You know what I mean, too, and meet Andrii and Dennis, and and come out and talk and learn more.
Have good
right?
food and good time.
And talk, right, and learn more, right, instead of just watching what you see on the news, right? Because it's been sterilized quite a bit too, right? It's been very much sterilized, right? Because unless you one thing about Trump, he says he wants to stop wars because he sees the pictures, right? I think if people seen the pictures more, not that you want to see the pictures, and you were there.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you not want more.
But you see,
right?
the problem not only with the news. The problem is that my understanding is that most people now don't even watch the news. They watch YouTube, whatever, some programs, and news are sterilized. You're right. But the problem is that people get their impression now about what's really happening from social media, and social media is always twisted. Always there is somebody who wants to present it in this way. Russians, they have their big propaganda machine that is oriented on Canada. We're fighting with Russian propaganda in Canada. That's what we're doing. And it influences you. So don't watch social media if you want to get information. You can watch it to look at kittens and stuff, If you want real information, watch Kelowna Now. Worst case scenario, watch news. It will be sterilized, but at least not so much, twisted.
Yeah, and if you want to really get the news, I'm going to plug our show. We have the really big show every morning, weekday morning at 9 a.m. Ian and I do news commentary. You're probably going to learn more in that hour and a half when we do the news than you're going to get from like a month of news on these sterile networks that are feeding you propaganda. So with that said, thank you for watching Now Media.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your